We're going to talk about lesson 3.3, sixth graders. And this lesson is about prime factorization. Repeat that. Prime factorization. The prime factorization is how you make a number. It's the formula for making a number. Just like the formula for water. We talked about the formula for water as being H2O. 2 hydrogen elements and 1 oxygen element. 2 hydrogen molecules, 1 oxygen molecule. Put them together and you have a compound called water. Very special. Now, the same thing is true in math, but instead of elements and compounds, we have prime numbers and composite numbers. The prime factorization is the formula for the number. And so what you have to do when you're given a number is you have to find the prime numbers that go into the number and how many times. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Let's say that you're given a number like 165. Okay? Now you know 165 is a composite number, right? How do you know?
Well, I don't.
Roy?
Because of the last 2 digits.
Okay, the last digit is a
5.
5, so we know what number goes into it. Roy? What number goes into 165?
What number goes into it?
It ends in a 5, so 5 goes into it, right? 5 goes into 165. How about if we add the digits?
Yeah.
Add the digits. Ariana? 12. So if we add these and get 12, what else goes into 165? No, look at the board or think back to the divisibility rules. What? No, what number? Since 12 is divisible by 3, that means 3 goes into 165. How many times? Because it's not divisible by 2, Carson. Let's go back to 3. Since we know 165 is divisible by 3, then we can choose one of those 2 numbers to start with. In this case, I chose 3 to start with. And so, how would you figure out how many times 3 goes into 165? You divide. You divide. You do the division. 165 divided by 3. Okay, so put this in your notes. Do the division. First you find a number that goes into it. How do you find a number that goes into it? Use the rules. Use the rules we talked about. If it's even, then divide it by what? Class. Pay attention here. Hello.
2.
If it's an even number, then it's divisible by 2. So do the division. If the sum of the digits are divisible by 3, then divide the number by 3.
Yeah.
Let's do that now.
I did.
Do that in your notes. 3 goes into 16 5 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So, where did these 2 numbers come from? When I found 3 and I divided it, what did I get? 55. So what's 3 times 55? Class, what's 3 times 55? Don't use your calculator. We just divided it. If 3 goes into 165 55 times, then what's 3 times 55? Bryce? 165. So, when you are making, this is called a factor tree. You start by writing down the number. You put 2 lines underneath it because we're going to find 2 numbers that make the number above it. 3 times 55 is 165, right? You with me? 3 times 55 is 165, right?
Yep.
How did we find the 3? We added the digits. Now, 3 is a prime number, isn't it? So I highlighted that. But 55 is not a prime number. We can factor this number. Factoring means finding numbers that go into it. Okay? So, what goes into 55? What goes into 55, Ethan? No. What number goes into 55? 5 goes into 55, right? How many times? 11 times. So where did these numbers come from? Where did we get these 2 numbers?
Oh, because 5 times 165, so we brought them down.
Okay, you brought them, we kind of split them up. We took 55 and we found the 2 numbers that make 55. Or, we did this. 5 goes into 55 how many times? 11 times. Now, is 5 a prime number? Is 11 a prime number? Right. If we have all prime numbers around the outside of the number, once we have all prime numbers, then we have our formula. And we write it this way. That's why it says the prime factorization, P period, F period. The prime factorization, or the formula, is 3 times 5 times 11. This is the answer. This is the answer to this question. The prime factorization of 165 is 3 times 5 times 11. Okay? Pay attention to this. This is important. You have to be able to do this. And if you're not following along, you might not know what to do. Okay? Lesson 3.3. Go to page 92. Now, one more thing that's in your notes. When you're writing the prime factorization, write the factors in numerical order. So, start with the lowest, and then write the biggest. 3, 5, 11. Least to greatest. Start with the lowest factor, and then write them in order. Okay? So, page 92, there's some more examples. We're going to do the next example. 180. Let me erase this and do this with you. Okay? So, first, we need to find a number that goes into 180. What would you like to start with? What numbers go into 180? Cool?
9 and 2.
9 and 2. So we need one of those. First,
9.
here's 9. So, take 180 divided by 9. Do that right now. 180 divided by 9. If you can do that in your head, you can write the answer. Otherwise, just divide it up. 9 and 20, right? notes. 180, put 180. Not this example.
Oh, wait.
Here. Now, are these two prime numbers? Hello? No. What numbers go into 9?
3.
3. 3 times 3, right?
5.
Does 5 go into...
No, I meant.
Oh, okay. Now, with 20, what goes into 20? 5. What else?
2.
If we're going to use 5, then 4 goes into 20 also, right? 5 and 4 make 20. You can't write 5 and 10 here because we have to have the two numbers that multiply to make the number above it. Okay? Now, are all of these prime numbers?
No.
Which one is not prime?
4.
So we have to make 4 with what?
2.
2 times 2, right? Now, all of the numbers at the bottom, or all the numbers around the outside, what I'll call that, are prime numbers. Those are the ones we're going to use. In fact, instead of highlighting them, since you won't be able to highlight them when you're doing this, I want you to circle them. Circle the prime numbers. 3, 3, 5, 2, and 2. Okay? Now, you want to keep factoring. That's called factoring when you're pulling out these numbers. You want to keep factoring until you have only prime numbers. We have only prime numbers left. And then write the formula using the numbers. And you have to put them in numerical order. So, we have to use a 2 in our formula. How many of them? 2. We write 2 squared. 2 times 2 is 2 squared. We have to use 3 in our formula. How many? Zoe? Count them. How many 3's are there? 2. So then write 3 squared. What else do we need to put in our formula? Say it. 5. How many of them? 1. Yep. So what is 2 squared times 3 squared times 5, Tyler? That equals 180, doesn't it? It should. It should. Let's look back and see if we have it. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9 times 5. And are these the numbers that we started with? Are those in our process? Yeah. 9 times 20, right? So that makes 180. We have the right formula. You can check the formula that way. So this is our answer. Okay? Go to page 93. Page 93, let's start with number 1. It says copy the chart that's there and fill in the blanks. So, copy what I'm doing. Yep. This is part of your assignment. I'm going to help you with your assignment. Okay, let's fill in the blanks. What's missing in this? Right here. What's missing? What's missing? What number is missing on this line? Remember, it's these two numbers multiplied to make this number. Cal?
4.
4. So then what's missing in this box? Max?
2.
2. And what's missing in this box?
5.
5. What's the formula? Write the formula now. Using only the prime numbers, write the formula. Notice I circled only the prime numbers, like not the composite numbers. Write the formula.
Yeah.
Write the formula.
Do right
Yep, PF equals what numbers are in our formula? 2. How many 2's? 3 2's times 5. Yep. What is 2 to the third power? What does that equal? 2 to the third power. Liz? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Yep. Times 5. Does that equal 40? So, right, equals 40 and circle it. Okay? Just use a pen right now. Number 2. Copy that one. 93. Starting with 210. 21 times 'Finish this one. You have a question, Max?
Oh no, I'm covered.
Not yet.
It's just on there.
Finish it on your own. Then write the formula. So 21 goes into 210 10 times because you just put a 0 on the end. Now we have all the prime numbers. 3, 7, 5, 2. Write them in numerical order.
Oh, I
Yes.
know.
Least to greatest. 2 times 3 times 5 times 7. What do you notice about 2, 3, 5, and 7? Well, they're all prime, yep. What else? What else? Next?
They're all lower than 10.
They're all lower than 10. Are they in order?
Yeah.
They're in consecutive order of the prime numbers, right? So 2, 3, 5, 7. What's the next prime number?
11.
Yeah, 11, right? So if the question was, what is the lowest prime number, or I'm sorry, the lowest composite number of consecutive prime numbers, that's how you would find it. 2 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 11, or times 13, or times 17, and so on. And you'd multiply those together to find the number. Okay? So this equals 210. Do you understand how to do this?
Yes.
All right. So your assignment will be 3 to 15. Yep.